Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. I'm Claire from Wildfire Evolution and I'm here to kick off the Summer Survival series with a plan. Now, planning may not be for everybody. It may be much easier to go with the flow, get rid of routine and take every day as it comes. And if that's you, that's absolutely fine. You can completely skip this step. Don't worry about it whatsoever. If you're a planner, I'm a planner. I love a list. I love writing everything down. I love knowing what's going to happen. If that's you, then this Summer Survival Series plan has been created with you in mind. This is all uploaded onto the website in PDF form, and it's also in the Facebook community group within the guides. And the idea is all the PDFs are separate so that you can choose the bits that are suitable for you. So I've put together a pack here which has every single page in, and I'm going to explain why each page is there and what you can use it for. But every family is completely different. There's some pages that won't be relevant to you. There's some pages that you won't feel the need to fill in. And there might be pages that aren't there that you think you could really benefit from. And you'll be able to see something you can do about that at the end of the booklet. So I'm just going to go through what I've done, why I've done it, and how it might be able to help you. This booklet has got some family aspects, so you will need some time to sit with your family and fill some of it in, but it's mostly created with mum in mind. So really think about you and what's important and what isn't important during the holidays to make sure things run smoothly. So at the start, there is a bit that just says things that I've said already about what's important to you and making sure you keep in control. So make your plan if planning is for you, but do revisit it because life happens. Things aren't going to go to plan. There's always something that changes things without us knowing in advance. So if you need to change things, if things aren't looking how you thought they would, it can be revisited. It doesn't have to be set in stone. And like I said, every family is different. So the first page is started with a monthly planner. So you can print this off for the whole of August. You can print one off before to finish July, depending on when you're accessing this and when you need it. And this is completely blank, so you can set out the days, dates, and everything to suit you. Some people like it across, some people like it down, some people start on a Monday, some will start on a Sunday, so that's there for you. And you can look at the things you definitely don't know. Is there a week where you're away? Is there a week where you're off work? Is there a day where you know you've got a plan already in place, something booked or somebody coming to visit? You can pop those things in and see where the gaps are. Now, please don't feel that this planner needs to be full. It definitely doesn't, absolutely does not need to be full. I wouldn't like to see any that are completely filled. I spoke to one parent and she was talking about the fact that she's booked in loads of different activities for every single week because she feels that her children will be bored and her children won't be happy if they're at home all the time. I will come to more of this in a minute when I talk more about one of the other pages, but you'll find that your children will want some downtime and you will need some downtime. So this does not have to be full. This can help you see maybe when you're working, if you're working from home, when you're working from home, when children will need to occupy themselves a little bit, if they're at an age that they can do that, where maybe they're going to be in childcare for whatever reason that is, and you can just get a good overview. Please don't feel that every single square needs to be filled because it does not. So when you've got your months, you can then go week by week, and I wouldn't do this far in advance. I'd do this perhaps on a Sunday for the rest of the week. What's happening? Is there a day where you have to be at work in the office? Is there a day when maybe you've got a partner and he's not at work, so you might want to do something together, or it might give you the day off to have a break and your partner has the children? If you're a family where both parents don't live together? Is there time where your children aren't with you? Definitely make the most of that time for you if that's the case. This is going to look different for every single family. So what's happening this week? And definitely include in this week some freedom time. And I don't mean that just for you, but for your children. When is there no expectation? When do they not have to get up, get out of the house to do something? Can they have a pajama day? Can they have a day with screens or movies? That's going to have a different opinion from everybody, but it's important to have some downtime, no matter what that downtime looks like. So where can you put that in? And then if you need a more rigid plan, depending on what you're going to do, there's a daily planner. Not everyone will want this, not everyone will need this, but if it makes more sense for you, maybe you're working from home and you can do this to map out for your children. Okay, I am on calls at these times, and you can pop the times with it. These are the times that you're going to be occupying yourself or doing X, Y, Z. And these are the times where we'll all meet together for lunch, for example. Or at the end of the day, this is where we can do something together because I've stopped working. So again, this is going to look different for everyone, and some people may not want this. This may be way too overwhelming for you. So only use it if it's helpful. Now, I said a lot of this was about mum, and this one is mum's support network. Now, some of you might already be thinking, don't really have one. And this is where I want you to really think, because support networks can look so different. And I will do a more in-depth section just on support. Obviously, this is just going through the guide. But support can look so many different ways, and that is outlined on this. So who can I call or text when I need to? You may have an amazing support network where you know that your children are going to go to a certain place, whether that's childminder, childcare, grandparents, a good friend, someone that helps you during the holidays. You may have a support network like that, and that is fantastic, and definitely celebrate that. There might be someone that doesn't, but it doesn't mean they haven't got support. So one of the things is, who can I call and text? Most of us have access to our mobile phones and have someone that we talk to quite regularly. Who is the person that helps you just by being there? You may not talk about the children, you may not talk about the things that you're struggling with, but having someone that you know you can send a message to when you need to, whether that's asking how they are, whether that's telling them what a nightmare your day's been, or what amazing thing you've done that particular day, there'll be someone that is inside your phone that you can rely on. I'm pretty sure everyone's got somebody, maybe family, maybe friends, maybe someone that you've met through a support forum, a Facebook community group that you've related with. You may not actually know them, but there may be someone that you find really helpful to talk to. Think about those people, because support doesn't always look the same for everyone, and that is a level of support. Who will I like to meet up with during the holidays? So there will be maybe friends from nursery, school, where you may go and have a picnic with friends, or it may be that somebody that you'll see when you don't have your children, a friend, a family member, or it may be that you've joined in some groups and you don't necessarily know the people, but you know that there'll be people there that you can chat to. So think about those things and how they might support you. And where can you look for help and support? If you don't have a support network in terms of childcare and things like that, where can you look for support? If you really don't know and you need help with this, send me a message and I'll see how much I can help you. There are lots of local support networks on Facebook community groups that usually cover most areas. I know for Coventry, where I am, there is, and it's very helpful. That's a great support network. You may have a local family hub that you can access, and they've got things running all the way through the summer. It may be that school have summer camps and things, I know some local schools to us have different summer camps. So support can look completely different to how you first think. So have a good think about that, because you may be feeling really lonely right now, but when you really think about who's there and what that can look like, that may really help you. Mums self-care. I don't care how much you think everybody else is important and your children are. They are. I completely agree with you. But so are you. And you need self-care every single day. And that can be really hard to get your head around for so many different reasons. It may be because you've got the children all the time. You may be a single parent and you can't see where you have your time for yourself. This could be 10 minutes of a day where you leave your children to do something, or when they're in bed, that you do something for yourself. It may be that you are able to leave the house and do something. It can be so simple, such little things. Again, there will be a whole blog on this, and there will be lots around this. Also on my social media, Self-Care Sunday, every single Sunday on my Instagram and my Facebook page, you will see a self-care idea. It's so important, and every single one of you needs to put this in one way or another. Self-care, again, is going to look different for everybody for so many different reasons. So there's no suggestions on here. We'll talk about them in different times. But this is blank because it's your self-care and what's important to you. So make a list of the different self-care you can do at different times, and come back to this when you're feeling a little bit run down and feeling like you need some time to you. It may be as simple as taking your favourite food and a hot cup of coffee, tea, hot chocolate up to your room and having peace and quiet for 10 minutes to half an hour. It may be going for a walk on your own in an evening if you've got childcare. It can be so many different things, but you need to do it. Now, this one I actually ummed and ahed about whether to put it in, and it's household chores. So this can again look different for everybody, and it will depend on the amount of time that you spend in your home and who else is in your home. So I've put this in because I think it's important to think about whether other people can help you with this. If you've got a partner at home, can things be shared? And what's really important, so if you do want to spend all of your time with your children and you're able to do that, do you want to be thinking about the fact that maybe you haven't sorted out the breakfast dishes, or maybe the front room hasn't been hoovered yet, or the bathroom needs cleaning? Sometimes setting out a plan for these things can help. I've only put one page in here. It's not something I'm an expert on, and there are lots of other businesses and advisors out there that can help you with this. Personally, I use the Organised Mum method. If you search Team Calm, you will find her. Her name is Gemma Bray, and she has a half an hour everyday system that will help keep on top of everything. And that's how I do it. And I don't spend more time than that on household chores, because I like to make sure that I am spending time on doing things that are important, whether that's for me, my business, or my family. So if you want that page, use it. If you don't need to print it off. And then we come to our children, because the holiday is about them. They are the reason we have these holidays. So first, before we get down to all the details of what is going to happen during the holidays, we can look what's important, and this is for the child to fill in. So if you've got more than one child, print more than one. What is important to them? The child can put their name so you know. And the headings are things I'd like to do at home. So what can they do at home, whether it's painting, whether it's a film they want to watch that they haven't seen, whether it's a certain activity, a craft thing they like to do, building dens. There's so many different things. And again, I haven't put on the different options because the ages of the children, their abilities and their attention spans will change so much. So spend some time filling this in with your child. Google ideas, look at Pinterest, look at the different blogs that have children's activities on there, and see what they would really love to do during this holiday. Firstly, at home. Second box is outside. And that doesn't mean having to go out and spend money. Is that in your garden, if you've got one, what can we do in the garden that's fun, that will occupy your children? What can we do to go out for a walk or a bike ride or a scooter ride or whatever that looks like? Or visiting local parks. Most parks, well, all parks are free. Some have free parking, some you might need to pay for, but there should be lots of options local to you. So what would they really like to do during the whole 6 weeks? Pop it in here and see then where it can slot in if it's realistic to do. And things they'd like to do with the family. So what things would they definitely like to do that involves everyone inside your family network, whether that's just mom and child, mom and lots of children, mom and dad, however that looks, what can you do as a family, and then look at where that will work around other commitments. So what's important to them. And then there's a whole list. Or when mum is busy doing whatever mum needs to do, what activities can they do on their own? And if you think of some ideas, then when it gets to a point where they do need to do something on their own, as long as this is age appropriate for your child, they can come to this list and think. And again, you can use search engines, Pinterest and things like that to find ideas. And this is fairly similar, but may not always be on their own. Boredom busters. So again, little things that you can do easily without much preparation, that when they start saying, I'm bored, we've got a plan. We've got something here that we know they enjoy. And again, you can work together. So the first day of the holidays is sorted because you just need to fill this planner in. And family time activities. No matter how much time you do need to spend doing other things, whether that's work, time to yourself, family time is important and it does need to always come in every single week. So what activities can you do inside the house, outside the house, whether they cost money or don't cost money? What can you do as a whole family without other distractions or work, phones or whatever, that you will all enjoy? And you can create a list here, come back to it during the holidays. Doesn't mean you've got to do this whole list in the first week, you definitely don't. But what is a good idea to come back to and say, oh yeah, we said we'd do that. When can we do that? And pop it into the planner. Now the next one, we can plan. We can have everything set out. Everything can look perfect on paper. It doesn't always happen. And sometimes planning can really make us worry about the things that we haven't done. But sometimes it's not about the stuff that we haven't done, it's about the stuff that we have done, especially when we find a day difficult. So this is our ta-da list. So when you're having a really hard day, get out your to-do list, which is right here, and think of the things you did do. So if you're really struggling, but you've managed to get out of bed, make your bed, the children have had their teeth brushed and they've had breakfast, they're achievements. It may be that you've had something on your list for ages and you managed to tick that off, but it's the only thing today that you've ticked off. Get it on your to-do list. There is always something to celebrate, no matter how small that is. It might be that the fact that you've got dressed and you didn't get dressed yesterday. It may be the fact that you've gone for a short walk and you haven't been out for a couple of days. Again, this is going to look different for everyone, but there's always something that you've achieved compared to yourself. You don't compare yourself to other people, but what didn't you manage to do that now you're doing? Celebrate that and get it on this list and appreciate the small things, because the small things really make a difference. That's all the list that I've created. But at the back and on the PDFs, there are some blank pages on all the different templates that I've used. And these are so you can make things work for your family. So it may be that I haven't covered something that is absolutely vital to the running of your family. So you can add your own title, you can add your own subheadings, and you can fill in things that are important to you, your children, your partner, whoever's in your family network. Get it down on paper and talk about it as a family. And that's everything. Like I said at the start, planning isn't for everyone. You might want one of these pages, you might want none of these pages, or you might want to sit for a morning and fill in everything and know that you've got a really good focus. It can change so much, all based on you. I said I was done, but I've just turned over and remembered there's one last page. I'm all about celebrating the things that we have done and the things that we've done well. When my children come home from school, I don't say, have you had a good day today? Because there's ways that they can find a negative in that. Every day on the way back from school, when I pick them up, I say, what went well today? And this has had, I've been doing this for a couple of months and it's had a great effect. They tell me something that they've really enjoyed. Sometimes, occasionally, you might still get a negative thing, and it might be that they really need to talk about that. But focusing on the positives can really change the way a child thinks. So, this week's best bit. What have they enjoyed this week? You can print one of these off every single week. They can do a drawing, they can do a writing. What have they loved this week? You can think about this for yourself as well. But think about what they've enjoyed, and it may just, you may find, you probably will find that it won't always be the big extravagant thing that you've managed to do. It will be the fact that they were allowed to have a picnic on the front room carpet, or they were allowed to eat in the den, or something really simple, and it will help you to start appreciating the little things if you're not already doing that. There are more videos to come, but for now, have a think about what you'd like to use. Any feedback, do send me a message, and any of these areas that you'd like a little bit of help with, just send me a message and I'll help you. Have a great day.